what are some of the steps for me to acquire my savings for children's school fees since I have joined late? And then Odongo here says, can I get a school fees loan and apply to a private school? And then one question here for Honorable Nsereko, what specific measures has the government of Uganda put in place to strengthen and support internship programs for students, especially considering how critical these programs are for the practical skills development and employability?
Odongo is looking for loan. Bwana Odongo, don't look for school. Odongo is looking for loan. Bwana Odongo, don't look for school fees loan. Let me address Odong. Odong, my brother, don't hang yourself by looking for school fees loan. Go for where you can afford. I believe your child is completely intelligent, is not, I want to believe is not one of those children with special needs that if you don't take him to a particular school, for example, those suffering from autism and others, that they will not survive. But I'm trying to tell you, go for affordability. Otherwise, the stress you will keep carrying, because this loan, you will not be able to pay. That means by the time you go for a loan, that means you're living above your means.
Yeah.
You'll either be forced into corrupt tendencies or mismanagement in one or another. Please live within your means. That is why I'm trying. I know it's very hard for you to adjust to. It's like telling someone who has been smoking that stop smoking. Even when they read on the packet that cigarette smoking is dangerous and may lead to lung cancer, they carry the next stick of cigarette and puff it. The reality is, if you want you to live longer, try to live within your means your own means.
Stress.
Your children will always be your children and they'll be successful. You're talking about Chitebi. I think the headmaster is Kamregea there. Head teacher, Haji Kamregea, doing very well. There is a neurosurgeon from Chitebi who is currently in Canada in one of the biggest hospitals. This is a school that doesn't even pay 300,000.
Wow.
Shillings.
220.
When your child is bright, they don't need a lot of aiding. Just let them flow. Wherever you put them, they'll be successful. Because the issue, have you heard Fenagoro sent? Have you heard that statement? Fenagoro sent. When you say, Fenagoro jetunonya kufuna ki?
Sent is money.
I'll ask you, basically, I'm not saying it's... do you know what Mutasa Kafero, his level of education, Haji Mutasa Kafero?
No.
Yeah? You don't know. Sudir?
Probably not very far.
I'm moving to the top tier.
Sudir is a doctor now.
Alright. Drake Rubega?
No.
Muonge?
0.
The rich that are rich in this economy did not see as many blackboards as you've seen, but they went for what is practical.
Yes.
What I'm trying to advise those parents that save with you, teach your children the importance of saving by showing them how money is made. Showing them how money is made is by going to them in the practical way to make that money.
Okay.
If you sell gonja, go with your child. Your child will now know that if I own a plantation of gonja, we can expand.
Okay.
That is how Kekizaka Koza became so big.
Okay, Honorable, I'll come back to you later, but I have a question here for Florence. What is your view about SCE education? And for those who don't know, SCE is a curriculum. It is Accelerated Christian Education. So what is your view about SCE education and how does it compare to our curriculum and pricing? An anonymous person sent that message.
Yeah, basically, this Christian Accelerated curriculum, when you go to its release setting, most of them are actually doing our examinations, national examinations. But what I talked about, the mode of delivery is quite different. For instance, when you go to this classroom, it is more of child-centered as opposed to teacher-centered. Because with new curriculum now, we are pushing for learner-centered as opposed to teacher-centered. Children have a lot, but we don't give them time to explore, time to discuss with others, time to share experience. So these people are owning this curriculum to make sure that it assists to the youth the way we teach. A teacher can talk from morning up to evening. Actually, at times when I go to class, I say, but you people, how strong are your heads? How can you talk the whole day? For them, they take it as maybe it is fashionable. Learners get bored, learners sleep down. But with this, you will even find a learner with his workstation.
Yeah.
Whenever there is something to ask, they put up a flag. And the teacher is not called a teacher actually, they are called instructors, they are facilitators. They facilitate the system of teaching, but they are not at the center of everything. So it has modified, but learners are more proactive than these ones where we use the traditional methods. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, it is always accredited from South Africa, and most schools have taken it up.
There's a similar question here.
Yes.
Sorry. How you can also talk about homeschooling as you conclude
yes.
with ACE.
Yeah. Homeschooling, obviously it has always been there in those outside countries, but of recent, especially with Corona, COVID, homeschooling came on board. Parents who could manage, they kept on assisting their children till, like in KCCA, we had some organizations that did a lot, especially Aga Khan Foundation.
And welcome. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining class. Welcome to class. This is one of those days, it's the day of the week, day of the month where we come together and say, let's go back to school. The School of Money is for adults and grown-ups. Only grown-ups go to the School of Money. The rest are just growing old. My name is Mboa Apollo, your headmaster of this school. I'm happy. I'm quite happy. This morning I'm quite happy. I'll tell you why in a short while, but I am happy. The people in the room know why I'm happy. So, but thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to get the NSSF Financial Literacy Program out there to you. We do this as NSSF because we are the persons who take your money. We take your money away from you by force. We keep it away from you by force, and then we give it to you when you are eligible. We don't get so many good stories of what people have used that money for. So as NSSF, we are saying, let's get into that conversation. Because when we go out to the persons, they tell us that you gave me the money when I was old, I could not think, I could not do this. And I'm saying, no, you started losing your money the day you got your first salary. Your muscles have been used to getting money and losing money. So let's get into conversations. Let's make it business as usual to talk about have money conversations. Let's talk about the things that are taking our money every day. So the NSSF Financial Literacy Program is about those conversations, and we shall keep having these things. We shall keep having them. They will outlive me. When I leave, someone will continue having them. Why are we doing this? Because we want you to, you have counted on us to keep your money. We want when this money comes back to you, it counts. We also, as NSSF, have expanded our coverage. We are not just covering the corporates. In this room, we have some corporates. I'll show you some corporates. But we also want to cover everyone, informal, self-employment, everyone. The law now allows us to reach out to you. The same benefits that are available, were available for the corporates, are now available to you through the NSSF Smart Life Flexi product. So when we are having these conversations, we are having them with you. Everyone that is above 16, you are an eligible member, and the law awaits for you to register with us. All your children that are below 16, we are having this conversation with them because they're our next members. All your parents who took their money, they are of interest to us for this conversation, because they are the ones that will rain down on your money when it's actually paid. So this conversation is covering everyone, and please come to class. We've been having the confidence series, invest with confidence. We went into real estate with confidence, educate with confidence. Today we are going to talk about home management. If Shadrach is kind enough to present, to share with you those slides, I just want to make my role here is a simple one: make those introductions and then hand over to the people with experience. I've said it over and over again that we do not bring experts here, we bring people with experience, so they will share their experience about planning home management with confidence. NSSF, our purpose, as I've shared with you, our purpose is to make savings a way of life. We want to make lives better by making savings a way of life. And we want to, in the next 10 years, to recruit 15 million members. Your boda guy, your salon guy, your salon person, each of them deserves the same benefit as you are getting because you are working. So please expose them to NSSF. And special Kalango on the 24th September. For those of you who have some money at NSSF, hey, please keep your ears and eyes open. That is when they announce the interest. So that is coming to you. For you, the people under mandatory, for you, the voluntary savers, you do not have to wait. Every month, end of month, you get your interest coming to you. But the ones on the mandatory, the ones like some of my persons here, I'll show you later on. Those ones, they wait on the 24th. And on the 24th, yes, you can check your messages. Our universe is everyone in the informal sector, the diaspora, public service. Yes, you on public pension, you have a pension, but we are saying please go ahead and do something voluntarily, because the more you save, the more benefits you have. Self-employed and people in the formal sector. If Shadrach, you're kind enough to just go to that slide. So the Smart Life Flexi is out for you. I don't want to say so much about that. We have a link always in our in these charts. We have a scan. You can scan that code and then partake of this beauty of a product from NSSF, because we say action changes things. Things only change when you act. The difference between where you are and where you should have been is the action you have taken or not taken. So I will leave it at that. I am not the speaker today. Please. So just to give you a recap, we are covering 4 major areas. And one, what are those 4 things that take your money, the biggest part of your check? One is education. Last month we had a conversation with Honorable and Florence about educate with confidence. You do not have to go to the best school that you can't afford. You can go to the best school you can afford. It is education. Educate with confidence. We had maybe we'll recap for you. I was in class, but I was in class for myself. If you are not, maybe we'll get home expenses. Today we are going to touch home expenses. That's one of the 4 things that actually get into our pockets. Home expenses. How can you do it smartly? How can you do it without people thinking wagude level? Without people thinking, hey, omusajja mukodo. That's what we're going to do. We'll talk about transport and housing later on. But for today, we are going to talk about home management with confidence, of course, and with confidence. So when we talk about home, I have never been to a workplace where they say, welcome to work. But in every home I've gone to, there is always welcome home. I mean, home is that place where you actually welcome. It is that place of peace. It is that place where you are looking forward to. Actually, when you say, I am going home, when you finish that assignment, I am going home. Home is the place we look forward to. But most certainly in those homes, we are also hearing conversations. I am tired. These people, you are wasting the power. You are wasting the yaka thing is BP. You people, I'm going to leave this place. You people, you're wasting. It's a place of peace, but you are having conversations with your children as if they are your enemies. Home, we are hearing quite a number of words. You'll forgive me, my eyesight is not that well, but we are hearing quite a number of words. When someone comes, Netflix subscription, internet, water is done, utility, power is done, this is done. It then becomes as though this is a prison. So ladies and gentlemen, while we are talking about home management, are you actually able to fit in this home? Is this home working for you? Because one of the things that happens is when you eventually get your money from NSSF, it is plugging on some of the gaps that you did not do. So what are those triggers? And allow me to stop at this slide. What are those triggers that when you have some of these things, then you need to pay attention to some one or two of something about your expenses. Number one, utilities. Is your car meter beeping? That beep, it's not an alarm clock. It is not it is a reminder that you are actually punching above your weight, that this thing needs money and you have not afforded it. When they bring a water bill, are you quarreling with a water meter reader? Are you asking them questions? How did I use this? How are they supposed to know? Is home becoming that terrible to you? When you are having conversation for Kameza, and the wife is asking, by the way, it has increased, we now need 20,000. Is it all of a sudden triggering intelligent interrogations? You are interrogating your wife. Okay, sit down here, tell me, go through this, tell me, what do you exactly do? What is happening? What is it that, is home becoming that stressful? Have you bought a 4-door fridge, but all you have is just a 5-liter jerrycan of water in it? It took your salary, all of your salary, 3 salaries. You haven't even finished it. But you look at it, you are even telling me, but by the way, switch it off, it is taking a lot of power, but it is there. When you look at all the kitchen gadgets you bought, the blender, the smoother, this, why is it that this is the sigiri that is now is still prominent? Probably you didn't need them. You still needed your sigiri. You just bought them, they are there looking at you, you can't actually use them. Are expenses becoming pressure at home? The home we are saying, home, sweet home. Are they becoming pressure? Today, we want to have that discussion. And today we have people of experience. They will introduce themselves, but I will, as usual, I will tell you what I know about them. And it is me knowing them, so they cannot even tell me, no, it is me. They will tell you what they know about themselves. But before we do that, let's have our poll. But to give you a snapshot, we have a homemaker, we have a home, we have a Kameza puta, and then we also have our girl child, our moderator is the girl child that we're trying to keep in this school of money. So we keep bringing her back so that she definitely gets in. But let's have that poll, and then I will give you my full introduction of the homemaker, the Kameza puta, and the girl child who tried to drop out of school. But because we said no, we are playing our part to keep girls in school, we bring her back to make sure that she stays in school. Good morning, Mabel.
Good morning, sir, headmaster, sir.
Thank you. She knows. She's in school. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, as the poll goes up, please, if you're kind enough to pull that up poll, I just need to share the housekeeping rules. She insists that I'm called sir, headmaster, sir. You put a sir at the beginning, a sir at the end. I am the headmaster of this school of money. I am a humble man. But if you insist, please put a sir at the end and a sir at the beginning. If you insist. Plan with confidence. What is the size of your household? All of you people tuned in there, what's the size of your household? Please pick an answer. Is it a single household? Is it below 3 people? Is it above 3 people? Let us know so that these persons can actually get their conversations in order. Which household expense takes up the most of your finances? Is it food and groceries, utilities, Wi-Fi, water, electricity? Is it household operating expenses, garbage management, house management? All of those are expenses. Please let us know. Let us know in the next 30 seconds. We want to close this and then hand over this conversation so that these persons know. I again insist and tell you that the persons come here, they are not experts, but they have experiences, and we are happy to partake of their experience. What they tell you, they are not telling you do it. It might work for them and may not work for you. They're just sharing their experiences so that you draw out a lesson from that experience. How you use it is really up to you. If you are kind enough, please stop the poll and let's have that answer and hand over to Mabel. Mabel,
yes,
the persons you are going to address today,
okay,
100% of them have answered, and 11% leave alone.
okay.
11% leave alone. Please get me people need to have a record of this, so if someone is kind enough to give them a pen and paper. 71% of the persons you are going to address today live with between 2 to 6 persons. Their households are between 2 to 6 persons, and 18% are extended, blended. They are above 6 persons. What is the household? What is the most? That thing that takes the most? 83% say food and groceries. 83% of these persons, they say their biggest expenses under household expenses is food and groceries. 42, Wi-Fi. 28%, garbage collection, maid management, household operating expenditure. Those persons have come with these statistics and they are looking at how do we optimize this. So Mabel, our school dropout, come. We have brought back the girl child to school. I want you to take this conversation. I myself have already grabbed a seat. You see where my seat is?
I can see your seat.
Yes, I need to take first time notes because Jesse, you were invited here because good morning, Jesse.
Morning.
Let me tell you.
Sir, Headmaster,
Thank
sir.
you. You're now in class. One of the reasons we invited you, Jesse, is you are uninvolved, at least from what we can tell. You are a man who is involved in his home. You're a man who is involved. I don't know if you even go as far as measuring the meat, the pieces of meat, but we see you so much involved in your home. And we want to see what you call out here. Is it working for you? Manuela, the persons, sorry, Muchala Mulondo. The persons, everyone was saying, bring Muchala Mulondo.
Yeah.
Because she's a cool house manager. That is the word they use. You are a cool house manager. How do we become as cool as that?
Okay.
What that means, when I was hearing them, they were saying that regardless everything she does, she's able to hold down a home. Probably you do not have problems with your yaka beeping. You are not having, you people, what did you do with the soap? What did you eat the soap? Did you?
But I still want to have some personal conversations with you, EDCL, because I'm looking at the trends. And I'm
Now
like,
for you want even to consume more power.
I actually want to give them a call. And so what's...
Nabo tubabuli tubagambe ko bana the electricity is going so much. You put your K30 in the morning, it is lighting. Which is not our... We are putting the Kamane there.
Headmasters, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because you need to know the right time to put your car. Don't just put any time.
So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to hand over to Mabel, school dropout, who we pulled back to attend this school and actually earn this degree of confidence series. Please take it on.
Thank you very much, Sir Headmaster, sir. And indeed, it is an honor to host this Plan with Confidence series. Last month, like he said, it was Educate with Confidence. And this time, it is Manage Your Home with Confidence. And I'm really excited about the wonderful panel. We have Jesse Ainebiona, who is an entrepreneur, a coach with Inspired Leaders International, amongst other things. And Manuela Mulondo. I don't know. If you don't know her, well, she is an entrepreneur. She has a number of homemaking programs on air, and she does so much. She looks great. She's someone who, like Sir Headmaster Sir said, has it all together. So we're going to be taking a deep dive into that to see how we can also get it all together, even when, you know, the economy is the way it is. So thank you for joining us. We always want to know, where does our money go? And indeed, many thanks to NSSF for bringing this seminar to us. It's not just for fund members, but also for the wider community. How can we plan better? Being wealthy is not just for a few, it is for everyone. So I will start with Jesse Aineviona.
Yes, Mabel.
In this economy, or as we say in Uganda, economy, in this economy,
yes,
where they say tighten the belt, pinch the pennies, is it still practical to say, let's just reduce your spending, you know, just don't spend as much, when we actually even have less, you know? Everyone's talking about Strait of Hormuz and all that. Somehow it's affecting us here in Uganda because of fuel, and it has affected so many aspects of our life. So is it still practical to say, just tighten your belt?
Tighten your belt. How far can you tighten your belt? You might tighten it until you get to a point where it cannot get any tighter. That said, there are things that we can do. There are costs that we can reduce. But again, you ask yourself, okay, how far can we go? Won't we eat? You can reduce on some things, but then there are also things that you may not reduce. Will you settle for posho and beans every day of the week for the sake of cutting costs? So there are things that we can cut. There are things that we can just manage. But then there are also some things that may be happening in the home. Maybe some extravagant things. Do you need to eat chicken 5 times a week? Maybe we can reduce on that. Maybe we can reduce on how we can mind about how we shop. Because sometimes, for example, if you buy in bulk, you might find that over time, you save some money. As opposed to every time you want to buy something, you go to the shop. Or you could even change where you buy. For example, I was having this conversation with my wife, and she mentioned something quite insightful. She said, when she goes to the supermarket, she decides that I'm going to buy the things I went to buy. And ever since she decided to do that, we have more money left at the end of the month, as opposed to having more month at the end of the money. So there are things, especially those little things that are near the counter, you know, some of those things, some chocolates, some sweets, some of those things, there are things you can do to reduce some of those expenses. And so a little thing, a little can go a long way. So yes, in this day and age, you can still be mindful of how you manage your money, especially how you buy, where you buy, and what you buy.
Okay, Thank you very much. Now, Manuela, so many places where I could begin from, but I'm just wondering, in a household, as you manage your household, as just picking up from where Jesse left off, you know, you buy these things, how do you differentiate between a need and a want? You want this, you need that. How do you differentiate? How do you tell your family that this is a want, you know, and this is a need?
I mean, a need is something you can't do without. For example, if you don't pay your rent, you will be kicked out. And so it's a need. But a want is, I want a second shoe. The truth is, you can go and sew it up and you'll be fine. You can sew it, they can sew a second time and a third time. Food is a need, because if you don't eat, you will die. But that party that you want to go to, the wedding where they've called you to be the matron or a flower girl or a maid or whatever it is they've called you to do, and so you have to spend, that's a want. You don't have to, you know. In where we are going right now, education is a need, because without it, what's your life without education? But you don't have to give mabugo. No, you don't. You can go and do other things at the burial grounds. So a need is something that you can't do without. But a want, you can survive. I remember for years, there were times when I couldn't give wedding contributions, but I gave of my time. And it looked like, hey, but you chick, you have money. But I needed to know, can I really afford a wedding contribution? Maybe not. But that 50,000 which I would have given you, and you cross your eyes like, this chick, this 50, how could she send me 50K? All of her, yet she works in a bank or wherever. That 50K could give me transport to come downtown with you as you're shopping, so that I can spend time with you as you shop. but I might not be able to give you the 50K. I can come to the wedding meetings. I can stretch out that 50K so that I can be there for you, as opposed to giving you the 50K and also trying to do all of those things. So it's about you knowing what truly can you live without and what can't you live without. And the truth is, from my school of thought, the way money works, I've learned from the world by principle, but also from the Bible, when you steward money well, you will get more money. So a time will come and you'll just chop money at weddings. You just be the one who's giving money because you have been able to steward your money well. Yeah.
Okay. So Jesse, as a father, as a head of a home who is also very organized, what are some of those household expenses that we tend to overlook that with time actually build into something?
Some things that we tend to overlook, for example, could be sometimes we enjoy the comfort of our home and everything you want is delivered. Little do you know, little do you know that every delivery made comes with a certain cost. What if you arranged your errands better?
Yeah.
So that you can pick up some of those things yourself as opposed to just frequently having those things being delivered, because that guy who's delivering will take a significant amount of money. Now, initially, you may not even feel it, but over time, if you were to total up what you're spending on delivery costs, it might be significant.
Yeah.
Another cost that I think about, and again, I think about what's happening at home currently. You might underestimate the cost of charcoal, for example. So you spend 3K, 4K, you go buy charcoal somewhere outside the gate, you go, you buy. But something happened in the recent past. We bought an electric cooker. And we are amazed at how much it has saved us in terms of that kind of expenditure. So some things might seem like they are just going by a little, but a little becomes a lot when you total it up.
Yeah.
The unplanned things you buy in the supermarket. Maybe you went to buy things and then along the way you passed by the fridge, you bought some drinks, you also bought a few other things. If you total up all that at the end of the month, you'll be amazed at how much money you're actually spending on things that you had not planned.
Yeah.
The things they bring us when we are driving in and we have stopped at the lights. They bring up things and they say, would you like to buy?
And if you have children.
Exactly. One time someone brought a doll. Exactly. Someone brought a doll and my daughter said, Daddy, can we buy that? And honestly, father-daughter, there was that temptation to say, buy it. But then I wanted to teach a lesson. And I said, you know what, Ruby, we didn't come from home with a plan to buy this. So the next time we want to buy it, let's put it on the list so that we can buy it. I am teaching her a lesson that you don't just buy what you want. You buy what you have planned to buy.
Yeah.
So there are some of those things that go little by little that we may not even realize. For example, sometimes we have shoes. We have duvets at home. But then you see shoes on sale. Duvets on sale, discount things. You already have these things, but then you feel, let me buy because they are on sale.
Yes.
You really don't need them. Exactly what Manuela has been talking about. You already have them and the things you have are working. But because you saw a discount, I may need it. And because of that, you end up stocking your house with things that you think you need, yet actually you don't. 6 months later, they are still in the house, you have never used them.
Yeah.
And yet you spent money on that.
Yeah.
Bank charges.
Bank charges.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah. Every time you withdraw, there's a bank charge.
Yeah.
So if you don't plan how you're going to spend money so that you can do one lump sum withdrawal and then send off the money to wherever it's going to go, those bank charges are going to multiply.
Yeah.
There's another one that's so hidden, so hidden, depreciation.
Right.
Yeah, we don't understand that every asset we own in our home depreciates. Your TV is depreciating, your car is depreciating, the paint on your wall is depreciating, your house is depreciating, and we don't plan for that depreciation. So what happens is when the plumbing falls, you're looking for money in emergency, it has become an emergency.
Yeah.
No, your plumbing breaking down should not be an emergency. You should have planned for depreciation. A certain amount when you're doing your savings, a certain amount of it should be going towards depreciation. For me, that's the most hidden cost. So you have a person who's built a beautiful home, Everybody has visited. We've housewarmed the house. 5 years later, you see rust on the walls. You see things have broken. The gutter has fallen. The trees have collected on the others. The roots have broken the fence. And
I think because
you can't
we
do
don't
anything
look
about
at
it.
our homes as organizations, because
Exactly.
every organization makes provision
For depreciation.
Yes.
Exactly. We
I'd actually
should.
never thought of it that
We
way.
should.
But for the longest time, I didn't have an ATM card.
Okay.
I didn't have one because I would always go to the bank, get my salary at once, and take it home, because I am fairly disciplined. Yes, because I didn't like those bank charges, really, for sure. I didn't like them. And these banks, they'll tell you your maximum, well, for me now, my bank maximum withdrawal is 4 million or 5 million a day or something like that.
Yeah.
But you can't withdraw 4 million at once. You have to withdraw 2
million.
And I always
And
ask my
another
bank
2.
friends, you worked in a bank.
Yeah.
Isn't that a trick by the bankers?
And every time you withdraw, there's a charge.
There's a charge.
With excise duty.
And you're like, but why could you allow me to get the 4 million at a go?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a question for another day. But still, yes, ATM charges and all that. Now, Manuela, we have known you as this super planner.
Yes.
You plan your meals January 1st. People know today, if you go to the Mulondo household, today, the 26th of August, they are going to eat maybe pumpkin. 27th September, they'll be having rice.
Let's talk 2027.
You plan a year's menu for your household.
Yes.
What inspired that, and how has that helped you? Is that one of the things that maybe you can say has helped? Because in our poll that we carried out earlier, 83% said they spend on food and groceries. Yes.
That's such a great question, because many women especially struggle in this area. And for me, what sparked it off was a depressive episode for about maybe 4 years. And I started to ask myself, really, why exactly am I in this place? I only remember postpartum depression. Why am I getting depression way after I've had the children? And then I later realized that there was so much in my life that was amiss. And one of them was my home. And so I started to, especially where it came to money, if I'm to just give you a kind of history, maybe some women are like me at that time. I would come home and I would also be with Brian, my husband, wondering what are we going to eat? And we both come from office, please. So what do you mean? You know, or you would be just about to get into a meeting and someone is calling and saying, Daddy tunamsa, Daddy tunali achi mami. Like, and so that was, you know, kind of like what my life looked like. And you would have this beautiful recipe that you want to cook on Sunday. Then there are some ingredients you didn't you didn't buy. So there you are telling your family, I swear this meal is so good. It's just that half of the ingredients I wasn't able to bring. So that was kind of what my life looked like at that time. And so obviously, like all men will tell you, my husband was struggling, my kids were struggling, because I was always saying we need to eat healthy, but we're never eating healthy because now I was like, there's no food at home. Let's pass by chicken tonight there. Let's pass by here. Let's pass by. So my home existed, but not as a home. It just seemed like a place where we all go and just sleep. And so during that time, I realized that as a woman, it was actually affecting me more than I thought it did. And so that's why I was in the space that I was in. And so now, my husband was giving me kameza, so that wasn't the issue. So I started to ask myself, so how can I do this better, right? And so I started to plan. That's when my journey of planning began. And I said, what are some of the things that really irk me? The food we shall eat. The food in Uganda is the same. Matoke, posho, chapati, sweet potatoes, pumpkin. They are the same. If you pick anything else, you've gone to a restaurant. So because I knew the foods and I knew the sources, I used permutations and combinations. I love mathematics. And so I'm very big on math, statistics. That's what I'm good at. I said, maybe this is why I got this degree that I got. How can I use permutations and combinations to come up with a menu? So it's not even 1 year's worth of a menu. It's 1.5 years.
So you put that info, you put pumpkin rice in a computer?
Yes, in a computer. And I used combinations and permutations to come up with a meal plan. I will tell you easily, that also you can go and do it. And then after all is said, after I'd written out this entire plan, then you realize that just Irish potatoes, yeah, it comes in many variations. You can have it mashed, you can have it fried, you can have it saladified, you can have it grilled, you can have it katogo. So even just having Irish, even if you ate it every day, there are 5 different ways you can eat it. I added it in the permutation. So for the beans, for the rice, for the matoke, for everything I added into the permutation. That's why I have 1.5 years worth of meals available for my home. So we do not have to, and without repeating any combination for 1.5 years.
Are you saying for 365 days plus 100 for 400
yes.
days?
We do not repeat a combination.
Wow.
So that means that after the 1.5 years, I just start again.
But maybe some people are looking at you and hearing you and saying, but they have the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now for us, we don't have the money to have. What if the computer gave me permutations that I can't afford?
Yeah, no, the truth is, mathematics is amazing and beautiful. Even if you have 3 foods, even 2 foods and 2 sources, at least you will have a month worth of food without repeating. So all you have to do now is just continue to repeat that month's menu. Even if you have just only those 4, you can still permutate. It's it's amazing, it's beautiful. And so because of that, we never have to think about what to eat. That's nobody's calling me. And then I went a step further to then write off the obvious shopping list. And then you send it to the people in the market, and you send it to the people in the supermarket. So that one is not an issue to think about. All they do is they know on Saturday afternoon we deliver.
So then how do you manage unexpected expenses with your meals? For instance, if I and maybe Jessie and Sir, Headmaster Sir, decided to visit you, these are 3 adults, and you've planned for your family.
I love that.
4.
I love
How
that.
do you now start saying, okay, I'm getting these guests, maybe you want to impress Sir, Headmaster Sir, and you're like, what do we do? I
like that you've asked that question, because if for 4 people in our home, we've used 2 tomatoes for beans. Yeah, I'm serious. If we've used 2 tomatoes for beans, when we are now going to be 8, how many tomatoes do you think we are going to use? 4. So all I have to do is tell the lady we have 4 more people coming. So she'll know, okay, that means 2 more tomatoes. And the beans which we are cooking 1 cup, we are now going to do 2 cups. Because if 4 people are eating 1 cup of beans, that means 8 people are eating 2 cups of beans. Actually, for me, it's the best thing that ever happened for us, because now planning is that much easier. It's that much easier. And then now, even if we are so broke and we say, we had visitors, they came, they ate the beans on Tuesday. That means the next time we're supposed to have beans, we can forego beans, because we know we ate the beans with Sir, Headmaster Sir, and they all came and they ate our beans, but now we'll only have, for example, 1 sauce. Or we are going to have cabbage and we are going to fry the cabbage. I'm saying this so that even for those that don't have money, you understand that it is all possible when you plan it. I'll be honest with you, it took me 3 months to come up with it. It took me a lot of time, a lot of reiteration, a lot of thinking through it. But also here is another interesting thing that we found has happened for us, is that there is more than that one unexpected thing that happens. Sometimes we'll get a call and a friend is like, oh, come over. But we've already planned the food we're going to eat. In fact, they have cooked it. So you get it and you put it in the fridge. So now when our 4 new guests come, we can nicely just refry, warm, and we serve the food. So it gives you the ability to do so much, even when you have unexpected circumstances happening to you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Beautiful. That reminded me of there is a couple we once met. We're having a conversation as couples, and this couple voiced a concern. The wife wants to ensure that we have food for the members of the family that are there.
Yeah.
Where the man was coming from, they always had extra in case someone arrives.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of contention about, should we plan for the people that we have, or should we plan just in case someone comes?
Yeah.
Then the wife was saying, but what if no one comes?
Yeah.
Where does that extra go?
Food.
So I think that fits into the planning
Yeah.
that we need to have as households.
And that was actually a question I had. As a couple or as married people, how do we have different habits. Some could be a spendthrift.
Yes.
And others could, spendthrift is the one who counts the pennies.
Yeah.
The opposite of that, you know. If you both have different money habits, how can you have a candid conversation without ending up in irreconcilable differences?
Yes.
How can you reconcile that with a spouse? What advice would you give?
When we talk marriage, money in the context of marriage, and even other things really when it comes to marriage, I think it's always important to meet each other in the middle, to have a middle place. So for example, between my wife and I think I'm the one that is big on, save, invest. But again, we need to live life and enjoy the moment. Because you might save and invest and you don't get to enjoy what you have saved for. So my wife is big on celebrate. Let's enjoy the moment. Yes, save, but let's not forget that we are living in this moment.
We're in the journey.
So one of the things we did in our budget, we included me money. Me money. So this is money for myself. What I choose to use it for, it's okay. I can choose to go and buy whatever I want to buy, but that is an allocation that we have included for money that you want to use the way you please. So I think it begins with having a candid conversation and also being willing to be flexible to meet each other in the middle, so that it's not always my way is the way, but
And the only way.
we can find a place where we can meet and say, okay, we can still enjoy now as we plan for the future, so that we can move together, because it's all of us are coming from a different place, and it's important that we understand that wherever we are coming from, we mean well. Yeah. Even the one who is planning means well. The one who wants to enjoy it now also means well. So where do we meet each other in the middle so that we are not having friction?
There are 5 money personalities. You had just actually started on the spend, okay, not thrifter, but there are spenders, and it's important as a couple to know what is your money personality. So you have the spenders who are just happy. Life is good.
Yeah.
We are on our way to our destination. At the very least, let's enjoy the journey. Yeah. But then you also have those who are risk takers. Let me talk about risk takers. Let me talk about the savers. Now the savers are waiting for the destination, then they can celebrate. But on the journey, life can be hard. Now imagine a spender and a saver are married. That can be hard.
And then, many times I think they do.
It's true. Yes. It's very true. And then you also have the risk taker. The risk taker is about the money that we have is an opportunity for more. So for them, they're always looking for the next big project, the next big business,
deal
the next deal. They're always talking deal. There's a deal. I saw a deal. They get their salary and they're immediate. They're not thinking about school fees. They're not thinking about rent, because they're like, if the money comes through, we can pay rent for an entire year. Yeah. Now imagine a risk taker married to a saver. Are you seeing the fireworks?
Yeah.
Stuff can be hard. Sure. But then you also have the avoider. They don't even want to know their bank balance. Anything about money just gives them pressure. Yes. So they want peace and quiet. They don't. When they can spend money or they can keep it, but they don't want to hear. So, what is your bank balance? They're like, what if I find that the money has gone? They don't want to talk about money. They are happy to let the other person go. Now imagine that person, an avoider, is married to a risk taker.
Wow.
Yeah.
You imagine. They are not aware. That's why you find people saying, Zemi, can you imagine what my husband did? He sold off the house. But you were there. There is no way in a bank they could have just taken his house without you signing. That means he brought it, but because you didn't want to think about it, you're like, oh, what? I think he knows, because you are an avoider. You understand? Yeah. Then you hear one day they've come and kicked you out of the house. You can imagine what my husband did? We've been kicked out of the house. Or my wife, it doesn't have to be on your husband. They are risk, even if it's a wife and she's a risk taker, she can even sell your clothes. Because she's like, the next big gig is here. This is the biggest deal. Oil has come. We are going to make money. I've sold all of our clothes. Yes, we've gone to oil.
Well, eh?
But now they are married. Imagine that one married to a saver. You can already see the saver is going to save so much. The avoider doesn't know anything. They have no idea. They are the ones who, even when the other partner dies, they see a lot of money and they're in shock because they didn't know. But the saver had saved that money. Then there is the warrior. The warrior is the one who's like, what if things don't work out? No. Them, they have a lot of anxiety. They look normal, but the behind every money decision, there is fear. So they will save with fear. They will invest with fear. They will not invest with fear. They will not save with fear. Like they're just in a place of constant worry. Wow. Imagine that one married to a risk taker. Hey, don't do it, anything can happen. I'm telling you, it's like the deal is coming, it's about to, no, don't do it. They will fight. There will always be fights. Yeah. And so it's important to know your personalities as a couple. Personally, I'm a warrior. So whatever happens, what if we lose the money? And for me, it came from a place of trauma, because we came from a lot of poverty. So I am such a warrior. What if where we are putting the money, what if they close? What if I'm always at what if. My husband on the other end, so because for him he's a saver, he actually brought me a lot of peace. It's important to know who your partner is even before you get married. Yeah. So that you know whether this is a safe place to go or it is not. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Yes. Most people say women are spenders. Not necessarily. Watch carefully and see the kind of personality that your partner has. Once you do that, that's how you come to the middle ground. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
also, I think for dating couples, it's important that you have these conversations. So while you're dating and getting to know each other, find out exactly what is your position on money. And some of these things begin to show themselves. And then before you know it, you see some flags, and then it's up to you to either look at the red flags or ignore them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for your questions and comments. If you haven't yet sent them in, you can keep them coming. Share this link with your friends so they can tune in and learn how to manage their homes better. Now, Manuela, a number of questions have already come in for you. People want yes, you got a degree in statistics, but break down these permutations? People are a bit confused. And then, Manuela, can you monetize that meal plan and sell it to us? Yes. I think you've done that already.
Yes, it is monetized on my website, www.manuelapmulondo.com.
And I think, I hope Headmaster Sir won't tax us. But then someone says here, okay, Manuela, Muchala Mulondo, there are times we plan our family meals, but when visitors are coming, like Sir Headmaster Sir, we at times want to offer something different, special. So what is your take on this?
I love that question, because you see, the truth is, even when a visitor is coming, the truth. Let's say, for example, Sir Headmaster is coming, and we were planning on eating posho and beans. You're like, Sir Headmaster is coming. But Sunday, we had rice and chicken. Switch. Bring rice and chicken on Wednesday when Sir Headmaster is coming. Hey. And then after all, you've already shopped the food. It's at home. It's not like it's not there. Or sometimes you can find that I was planning on cooking Irish as maybe just as, I don't know, just mashed potatoes, but now I'm getting guests and I'm like, yes, I had Mr. Sir cannot be eating Irish potatoes like as if he's a baby. So what I'm going to do, let me bake them. So you might not even have to change the meal plan. You just might have to change how you're going to cook it. That's all. You don't have to go over and above. But also now, lastly, this one. Can you be honest with yourself? Mr. Sir, Headmaster Sir, if you come to my home and you're eating posho and beans and you find a problem with it, I don't know if we are still friends, really.
No, but won't you feel that, how does he come to the Mulondos and eat posho?
And that's why I said, one of the things that I'm very good at is being honest with myself. If, for example, I have money for posho and beans, you see, Sir Headmaster, sir, when I have no school fees, he's going to be there saying, but I'm planning, But when he came to my home, I was there serving him chips with cooking oil and tomato sauce that I didn't have. Yeah. So when he comes, either say, Sir Headmaster, today we are not around. This is where you switch off your lights. I'm telling you, where it comes to money, when it comes to money, when you steward it well, it will grow. It will grow. And do everything in your power to steward money well. One of the things that I've learned is that money is like a person. Yeah. If you have a friendship with when you have a friendship with a person, when you treat them well, they find that they want to spend more time with you. Same thing with money. It will want to spend more time with you because it sees that you're stewarding it well. And sometimes you just have to be honest with yourself. So I'm not around, I'm in the village. So that at the end of the day, when you're done with this whole process, let me tell you, when you have a child and you give them 50,000, okay, no, not 50, 2,000 shillings, yeah? 2 children, you've given both of them 2,000 shillings. One comes back and tells you, ma'am, the money is finished. And another time you need, I don't know, a small cash, and they say, Mommy, I still have the money. Who are you going to give more money?
The one who kept.
Exactly. Yeah. Our God is the same way. Money is the same way. The one who stewards it well will be given more. You'll get more opportunities. You'll get more gifts. I hope we are budgeting for gifts. People don't know they get gifts. And I keep telling people, you get gifts. That thing where someone says, hey, that's a gift. Better get that money and put it aside. Don't have to go and say, hey, they took me, I saved 3K, I'm going to eat it. No, please. Keep that money because you are going to spend it anyway. Anyway, I digress. But to come back to this point, when you take care of money, when you steward money well, you can't move me. Mr. Side Master, sir, you'll eat posho.
So I think one of the things that is important there is managing perceptions. How will people see me? How will they feel if they come to my home and eat posho and beans? But that's your home.
Yeah.
And that's what you have.
Yeah.
And that's what you had planned. So we need to have the courage to manage other people's perceptions. Because when you're defaulting on your child's school fees,
they will not be there.
They will not be there. When the landlord is sending you messages, they will not be there.
Yeah.
It's like putting on a very nice shoe and you really look so good and so cool to the outside world. But inside you are the one who knows how painful that shoe is. Everyone else is admiring. Oh, look at that car. Look at where the children go to school. Look at the house where they are staying. But it is only you who feels the pain and the pinch of that shoe. So I think we need to have the courage to manage perceptions. Yeah. Whether it's at a wedding meeting and they're putting on pressure. A whole manager, how do you... No. Manage perceptions. Yeah. Sometimes you'll not go for that meeting, get your money and give it to the bride or the groom and say, I wish you all the best.
Yeah.
They don't have to read it. People mind about, oh, so-and-so has given us so much. Who cares when you're going through that, whatever you're dealing with?
Actually, they overcare. Now they'll gossip about you. Oh, can you imagine he was a whole manager? Now they kicked him out of the house. Yet you are the ones who caused him trouble in the first place. I'll tell you, you need to learn some tricks now. I remember there was a time, as I'll speak as a person who's in the media. One of the biggest misconceptions about people in the media is that they have money, right? Because you're always in the face of people, so you always look like you have money, right? But I'll tell you that one of the things that even me and my husband said to each other is that we don't have money for wedding meetings. These ones where you go and then they say, hey, Mr. Mulondo, Mrs. Mulondo, you can do this. Hey, at 50,000, we lose not to attend wedding meetings. In fact, we would not attend the wedding. We would buy you groceries when you've come back from the wedding. Do you know 50K groceries when you've just come back from a honeymoon?
Yeah.
People would be like, oh, wow, well thought out people. So that's so kind. No, 50K. And nobody is there like, can you imagine they didn't know?
Yes.
50K, you can bring, you can even tell them, send someone to pick, even if it's 100K. You tell them, send a maid they can do trips that they're just depositing in the sitting room, and you sit down and say, well, we've just brought you something. And yet that 100K in a wedding meeting,
yes,
you would have looked bad.
Yeah.
So you also have to be very, I like what you said, manage perceptions. But let me also tell you, you start slowly, serve him posho and beans. Let me tell you, a rich man is a rich man when you have put your money together. And now let's say you're just eating off of your interest from NSSF. Nga, you are just calling people and saying, now just eat the way you want. Anything you want, they'll eat. They'll forget your portion and beans. In fact, they'll say, can you imagine the first time I went to his home? They served us portion. Nah, my God. They got their NSSF. Oh, my God. We ate so well. People forget. People forget. So you cannot base your life decisions on people's minds that are going to forget.
They're going to forget.
You've served them wonderful food on the baptism of your child, but they've left it in the toilet 2 days later. So what was that all about? No.
Okay, Manuela, you said that your husband used to give you chimeza. Kameza, sorry. Kameza. Do you give your wife? I don't know if you give your wife, but is a little bit of a, because you're saying you should steward it well.
Yes.
If they give you that kameza money, then isn't your money yours? My money is my money to do with it what I want. And then our money, his money is our money. And especially if he's also giving you
for yourself.
So how can you then be a good steward? Why can't you just live the way you want? Because you have someone to fall back on.
So what happens if he passes away?
Or he loses that job.
Well, of course, then there. So you're saying
your
that
money
ladies
had
should
better be doing something
wiser with the extra cash that they get.
Absolutely, especially if you have a partner who's okay with you not spending. At the very least, let your money enter the emergency fund account, honestly, so that we know that there is a buffer for the family in case anything happens. Let your money do, maybe he doesn't allow you even to invest, or he doesn't allow you, maybe, I don't know what it is, but it's important that your money does something, even to safeguard yourself. Because if his money is the one that's buying the land and you're seeing his name
on the
is the one on the title, baby girl, get ready. Anything could happen. And in terms of people fighting over that land, fighting over his home, and he has allowed you to have your money, better be safe with that, better be wise about it. But I advise usually, and I think it's, when it comes to money, that's why money personalities are so important. Because the way you speak to a risk taker is different from the way you speak to an avoider, who's your partner. But then you need, so that now you can have money conversations. Money conversations can be very difficult.
Sure.
But the more you have them, the better you become at them. And usually I advise women, when you're getting married, it's important that you get a good person. Get a kind husband. Get a good man. Not this one who sent you butterflies and then you forgot. All sense of intelligence, you left it out the window. Take note that you're getting a kind, good person who is aware that you're going to be the mother of their children. And is saying things like, when I buy land, I put it in my wife's name because she's the one that's going to be with my children. Be very mindful of the partner that you pick, because they will determine the rest of your life. Either you'll be happy or you will be sad. So be very careful how you pick your partner.
But also, let's...
do you give your wife that money for the table?
That's exactly where I'm coming to.
Okay.
I think we should let our decisions in the home be determined by husband and wife, not what the community says. So, for example, I don't say every day, this is Kameza money for my wife. No. We have a way we do our things. We have planned out our expenses. One takes care of this, the other one takes care of this. From time to time, I will be generous and say, honey, this is for you. But we don't have an obligation to say, every day I am obliged to put
money on the
no,
table.
That's not how we do it. And I think there is a challenge if we say, because the Mlondos do this, even
also
the Ainevionas should do this.
No.
I think now that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Because their reality is not our reality.
Absolutely.
So it's really different. I am a self-employed person. From time to time, I may get a jig and get some additional money. I could do something more with what I have got. But I need to be able to sit down with my wife and say, this is what we have, and this is what our expenses are, this is what our budget looks like, and this is what I think that we should be able to do. So I think let homes be managed not by what culture says, but by the reality in your own home.
Absolutely.
Okay. A question from Kasim is, with rising food prices and increasing household bills, what practical strategies can families use to reduce expenses without compromising their quality of life? And what role can financial planning or community support play in this? I think we've answered the first part of it. They have given examples, for example, ATM costs, deliveries at home. Those are some of the practical ways.
Buying in bulk
that you can do.
Also, sometimes you can just go to the market where you have a higher bargaining power than to the supermarket. Because if you also buy in bulk, you get a discount.
Yeah.
Sometimes because we keep buying small, you'll be amazed at how much you have paid for at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So mind where you buy and also how much you buy. Some of these dry things we can buy and keep so that we don't have to keep buying every time a need arises.
But he asks further, what role can community support play in this? Now, community support, I think, can be read in different ways, but I want us to talk about black tax. We had a percentage of 18% of our those listening are in households of 6+ people.
Yeah.
How can we plan in a better way for how can we take care of black tax?
Yeah.
I think the truth of the matter is that we live in a sandwich generation. We have parents to take care of. We have people to take care of.
Yes.
Our aunties, our uncles who raised us, and
grandparents,
exactly. Grandparents, exactly.
Yeah.
They are there. Yet again, we have our direct dependents. We have our children. They are looking up to us, and we want to provide for them as much as possible. We want to give them the best.
Yeah.
And yet, we only have so much that we can offer. So it goes back to planning. I think you cannot close your eyes to black tax.
Yeah.
We have parents, we have the people that have contributed in ways. That said, must we get everything we have and throw it up to them? Because then how shall we live and how shall we survive? I think it's important that you again show that you are grateful for what they did and you contribute in every possible way that you can, being also mindful of your own reality.
Yeah.
So here you have your home, you have your household, you have your children, you have your wife, but again you have those other people. So give what you can give. Okay. Other ways of doing that is sometimes they bring you are there say things you can put in place for them so that you're not the one always funding, but maybe you put in place a project that can continue to support them financially so that you're not the ATM. Every time they need money, you give them. What about you support your auntie's farming project so that it can do better and then the project can end up supporting her. So there are ways we can we can work around it, but the other thing also I've also learned is help at source. In other words, help them where they are. If you bring them into your home, now those are different dynamics.
They become dependents, for sure.
Exactly. Now they become part of your primary dependence. So I think there are ways we can work around it, but most importantly, let's be mindful of it and let's do something about it. However little you can, give something.
For me, one of my biggest questions was, what's that however little? I couldn't. I was like, but what was it? So I'm going to share, I'm a mathematics person, I'm a statistics, I'm always in percentages, especially when it comes to money. And I think maybe it's my love for math, but also my background. When you work in a bank or in a financial institution, you're constantly looking at numbers. And so what we do is, when you have this pool of money, however you've done it, whether it's your husband's money alone and your vibes, or it is both of your money together, or it is the wife's money, whatever pool of money you have, I'm a strong believer that the first 10% should be tithed. Yeah, it should be given back to God. And then 20% should be saved. So that 20% is the one that you'll, for example, send to NSSF, for example, those different saving, Smart Life, those different saving vehicles. So it's 20%. 10% pay off your debt if you have any. If you have any debt, please pay off your debt. Don't be those people who are hiding and giving your wife's number or giving your husband's number or your child's number or numbers that are off. pay off your debt. And when you know it's 10% and you're earning 1 million, you know that you have only 100,000 to pay back. That means someone who has your 500,000, you can confidently tell them, for the next 5 months, I'll be giving you 100,000 to pay off the 500,000. So 10% goes to your debt. The next 10% is what you give. You can only give 10%. Now you can change, you can play around with those percentages how you deem fit, but I've found that in most, in all of my financial literacy, those are some of the numbers and percentages that have worked for people. So 10% is what. So when they call you for a wedding, your uncle is looking for money, there's medical expenses for your auntie, there's whatever, all of those ones, they fit in your 100,000 if you earn 1 million shillings. Now imagine you earn 100,000. That means you only have 10,000 shillings to give. So when they call you for a wedding, you say, I'm sorry, I can't make it. Because you know you only have 10,000 Uganda shillings. So know that 10% is what you can give away. Then the 50% is where the rest of your expenses are. That's where your rent is. That's where your school fees is. Your children's school fees is. That's where your utilities are. That is where your transport is. That's where your groceries is. I'm telling you, for many of us, the house we are in, we should, because based on the money we earn, we shouldn't be in the house we are in.
You know, Manuela, there's actually a question here from someone called Sharif. He says, he calls it a disturbing question because he says, and you've answered it, but I just wanted to read it as you continue to answer. How do you budget for school fees, shopping fee, development fee, rental fee, without exceeding or falling into debt from a 500,000 monthly earner? Please. Guide. Okay, I love that you've asked that, and I'd actually done something. So this is how I've already talked about the first 50%. So that is 250,000. So now you're left with 250. So if you're in a house, you earn 500, and you're in a house of 250, you're already living above your means. At the very least, make sure you have no debt. You understand? So that now you're left with 60% to play around with. But the imagination that I was giving was somebody who has debt, because I've also found that many Ugandans, we have debt, and it's small things. Sure. The boda man, the kiosk holder, the chick you took your dress for repair, like the office lady who has food. Somehow you have those, tiny debts, but also there are those who are doing hardcore borrowing with circles and within their groups. So there is people have a lot of debt. So me, I just take it as, imagine when you're giving advice, when I'm giving advice, I imagine that people have debt. So if you're earning 500,000, it means you only have 250,000 shillings left. Now on that 250,000, again, I like percentages, and I hope you love percentages. Your rent, the remaining 50%, your rent should only be 30% of that 250,000. Yes. Manuela, will you find so that means of 500,000, you should have been in your parents' house. You should not have left. You are not ready. So I stay in cover. Yeah, go back to your parents. Ask a friend for accommodation where you can contribute some money. Go to one uncle, stay in the what do they call it, in the boys' quarter of but because you're in a bank, you're a teller, you've earned 500,000, you're like, me, they can't see me. Please, you go and stay there. You jump the mwala in the morning, you jump it. But as time goes by, you see that 20% that you kept saving, it will grow. It will grow, and before you know it, you're earning better. So I want to use 1 million because 500,000 can be a bit hard to calculate for me off head. But if you have if you're earning 1 million shillings, that means you only have 500,000 to play with, right? So 30% of that is 150k. So most people 1 million shillings salary, they can't. They've refused. They feel like they earn so much. I'm earning. No. The house is it's not that kind. It's not. You shouldn't be in Chanja. You first chill. First leave Ko Chanja and come closer to your workplace. Nearby. Because anyway, so let me share some of them. So 30% of the remainder should go to your housing. 15% should go to your food. That means for a while you might eat one meal. Just make sure it's balanced. Then drink tea morning and evening.
I'm telling you these things because me, I've gone through them. I saw my mother do it. So that's why I can share. But now we are there eating, we can have 6 meals. But because some work was done in the beginning, and for me, it's important for us to realize that because of where our parents are, by the time you're in where you are, it's possible that your parents didn't hand you down anything. So you need to break off that generational curse and start afresh. And that means you're going to make some really hard decisions. Yeah. So 30% goes to your rent, 15% to your food. Transport gets 5%. So you should be, don't fear to ask for a ride. If who passes on this road towards, don't fear. A time will come and you'll own your car. House. Hey, who's going towards worker's house? Hey, get you know, like find a way. That's 5%. Your utilities should be 5%. You shouldn't be the one who has water and electricity up. No, you should be collecting water in jerry cans.
By the way, I must say I was also a bit, sorry to cut you short, amazed when 42% said they spend on Wi-Fi. I was like, unless you're earning from TikTok,
communication should be 3%.
There you go.
Of the remainder. Communication. So airtime, Wi-Fi should be 3% of what is left. Meaning you should be the one who knows every bundle on Airtel and MTN. They do from this side to this side. I'm telling you. Then you do this thing where you write all your messages and they're in drafts. When the bundle opens like this, you're the one sending at midnight. They're receiving your messages only at midnight because that's when the bundle has been activated and it's only for 3 hours. The truth is in the morning, they'll find it. You understand? You maximize Wi-Fi. You write the drafts. Right? You know I'm big on drafts. Write the drafts. When you enter Wi-Fi zone, Wi-Fi, is there a password? Write the password immediately. All of those messages will be sent. Fear no shame. When you're broke, fear no shame. Because a time will come when that money is going to make for you money. Especially if you're saving. And it's important, especially the person who asked. Please note that after I said tithe 10%, the next thing I said was 20% to save. Don't wait to spend. Then you save what has remained. No. Save immediately. Don't wait. When the money comes, save immediately. Personal clothes, things like clothing can be 4%. Your health and medical, 6%. Please don't get sick. Help us. Help us. You can't be broke and you don't have a mosquito net. You can't afford it. You can't afford that life. You can't be the one who you're broke, but when they say there's an Ebola outbreak, you're like, where did it? Please. You don't have that what? That luxury. And of course, the assumption here is that you're not in a place that gives you health insurance. But if it does, that means this 4% can go to something else like your groceries. You understand what I mean? Then your family and your children, because they'll need clothes, they'll need shoes, they'll need 4%. Education is 20%. Right after rent is education. A person who earns the person who earns 1 million, find out that school you are taking your child. UPE. Take them to UPE. Fear not. Fear not. One of the things that I've told many of my friends is the Bible tells us the person who really educates our children is God. Haven't you seen people who went to UPE earning more than, even those who didn't go to school, earning more than others? So it is, while education is extremely important, and it is, even when you fail and you can only get a school nearby, fear not. That child will be taken care of. It is okay. So it's 20% of what is left over. Then you have things like your entertainment, 4%, miscellaneous 4%. Now the thing I love about percentages is if there was no miscellaneous, you can take that 4% somewhere else. If you're thinking that the 7 clothes I have are enough for the week, or even 14 clothes, yeah, until they are 2 weeks, then I just do again. Or you learn something called having a capsule wardrobe. A capsule wardrobe is such that you buy the same combination of colors, yeah, of top and bottom. Even if there are 4, you can get 8 outfits out of it. Because if I have a black top and let's say I buy a black top and a white top, a white bottom and a black bottom, it means that one Monday, with those 4 outfits, Monday I can wear black on black, Tuesday I can wear black on white, Wednesday I can wear white on white, Thursday, I can wear white on black. I have 4 outfits. You understand what I mean? Out of 2. You understand? So there's so much you can do. Then buy a dress, one is black, one is white. Black shoes, just buy 2 pairs. And then play around a blazer, one black, one white. People used to laugh at me in my season when I evidently was telling people I have a capsule wardrobe, because women I personally would spend so much money on clothes. That one hasn't matched. Meanwhile, someone can put out a whole wardrobe of clothes. They throw it down there and they say, I don't have what to wear. Haven't you gone through that? Why? It's because that combination, because you've put it on twice, now you can no longer, because everyone will know, hey, they know that one with her green trouser, but you can say that. But you can never say that about a black trouser. You can never say that about a white trouser. So people watched it on social media. I shared my journey because we were not in the financial place for me to dress up how I want in all color. But I said, okay, so these are the colors that I can manage. They can look nice. I can mix and match, max and match. And I can survive. Nobody would know that this same top is the same one that I'm going to use on Friday. Nobody will not just wash it well and put it on again. Now I put it on without this coat. And I have a full new outfit. So it's just things like that where you have to really be clever about it. But me, I'm really, really big on those percentages, and they've saved me. And a time will come, you'll no longer have debt, so that increases your balance. And even then, when you've been earning, let's say, 1 million shillings, and let's say the rent is 100,000, yeah? As you continue to grow, I'm a big believer that God will give you more opportunities because you are stewarding money well. When you start to earn 2 million, and this one's very important. When you start to earn 2 million, and now let's say your rent is ideally 200,000, don't first enter the new house. Don't yet first move. First stay in the one of 100,000 and save that remaining 100,000. Why are you saving it? Save it until you can pay rent for at least 6 months or 1 year. So that now the new house that you enter, so that means you'll stay in your house of 100,000 for 2 more years. That means you'll have an extra 2.4 million. That means now you can enter a house of 200K and you pay for a year.
Oh, yeah.
Landlord, don't knock on my door ever again. Are we clear?
For these 12 months.
For these 12 months, don't knock on my door. Now, what that means is when your landlord is not knocking on your door, you still have 200K of your rent. Keep it. Keep it. God will be faithful. He will give you a 3 million job. So now it is 300,000 for rent. So by the time you reach your 1 million house, surely you're paying 2 years in advance. They can't knock on your door because you have been saving diligently. That's what it means when we say get this small and it will grow. It doesn't grow legs and I don't know. That's how little by little. That's what it means.
I think one thing that Manuela has painted very well is living within your means, managing expenses with the little that we have.
Yeah.
Now, as we do that, as we manage and live within and delay gratification, partly it also means being shameless.
Like, no, you have to be shameless.
It's what it is. It's what I have. So let me live let me cut my
coat according to my cloth.
Yes.
In addition to what Manuela has beautifully painted, I think we need to think about how we can increase our income.
Absolutely.
You might have a skill that you can monetize. Because, okay, honestly, where will you get a house of 50K?
Yeah.
Where will you get a house of 100,000?
Yeah.
You have to live a life.
That's true.
Are you going to walk all the way from Chitukutwe to Worker's house?
Yeah.
So let's find a way, creatively, find a way to earn some more. It could be you have an idle resource in the village. Okay. Can someone use that land and they pay you some money every so regularly?
Yeah.
Do you have some skill that you can attach? Maybe you're doing so well with the accounts in your organization. Someone is starting a side business. Can you manage their books and they pay you some money?
Do the one for the landlord. I'm big on that one, yes. I'm big on that one. Until your landlord has a business of managing his houses. After you are in his what?
House.
In his house.
Yes.
Tell him, by the way, I'm an accountant. Instead of paying me to file your returns. Give me the house.
There you go.
Madam, I see there you have a nice dress, but I am very good at advertising.
Pay me.
You give me, don't give me money. Just give me clothes. Just give me clothes. Me, I will advertise those clothes. So you're doing a skill exchange. You may not even have another source of income because maybe you're not good at business, at OTDEMU, but you have a skill. Everybody has a skill.
There's a message here from Charles. He says, but you haven't talked about people having backyard farms where they can raise groceries that can be consumed at home as well as selling to cut costs.
There you go. So some people can actually grow their own food at home.
Yeah.
So there are things that you can do, and again, that it goes back to us sitting down and ask ourselves, okay, what can I do to save money? What am I buying that I can actually grow myself? What skill do I have that I can give and I can get paid in addition to the money that I'm being paid? We have 42% spending money on data. How can I use data to be a producer rather than just being a consumer? Because most of us are enjoying TikTok videos and watching, and data is going. Is there a way you can find a way to make money using the data that you're buying? So there are ways that you can work around it so that we can begin to increase our income as we manage our expenses.
One of the biggest lessons I had to learn was that when you're budgeting, for most times, most people when they're budgeting, they budget expenses. Budget income.
How do you budget income?
Because even when you look at organizations, when we're doing the budgeting process, we're asking where is the income coming from? So how much income are you expecting to get as a gift? As gifts, because people get gifts, but they're not even aware, again, like I'd said earlier, that when you get a ride home, when you get a ride to work, you've just received a gift because you are going to spend 3K on a border. That is a gift. So budget even for your income. And for me, one of the things that I've learned is what you focus on grows. There was a period of our lives where we stopped focusing on what we're spending on, and we started to focus on how to make money. So we would spend more time budgeting how to get more money. I'm telling you, when you focus on that, your income grows. If you focus on your expenses will grow. And I'm telling you that it's almost lopsided. But for us, that really worked for us. Focus on the income. You won't even have time to spend the money.
True. Many years ago, I sat in a workshop, and this guy made a statement that sounded almost insulting, but as I thought about it, it was true. And here is the statement. He said, the amount of money you have, and by having, I don't mean money in your pocket or money on your account, but he meant net worth, is equivalent to the size of your brain. So just think about that.
Ouch.
It sounded very insulting.
It is. Well.
But then you realize what he is saying is, how well can you use your brain to make more money? That's what the guy is saying. So then you look around and you realize people go to the market every Saturday to buy. Okay, can you say, I can help you to deal with this and you'll pay me a
After all,
margin.
you're going to the market also.
Exactly. Then you'll pay me a margin. I will look for nice things, the way I know how to look for nice things, and I can begin to make money off that. People have an issue with garbage collection in the community. Can I make money doing that? And I don't have to be the one to pick the garbage. I can pay a guy who will move around and pick your garbage on time, and you'll pay me money to do that for you. So can we use our brains to, that's what Manuela is saying, that what you focus on expands. Because if you only focus on
expenses,
managing expenses, how little can I spend? Okay, can we also use the same mental energy to think about how much more can I make? How much more can I make? You'll be amazed at how much you can make if you apply your brain.
I have a young lady who did that thing where she would shop for people, but she never ever spent even on, so if let's say for example she's going to buy tomatoes, and of all the households in total she's going to buy tomatoes worth 30,000, she would ask for nyongeza. She would eat off nyongeza. So while people were paying her for doing the shopping, she was not even spending on the groceries. because she was getting nyongeza, nsaba kunyongeza nga she puts in another kavera. You wanted cucumber, nsaba kunyongeza, she puts there. Bananas,
the
nyongeza would be hers.
It's her shopping.
She didn't care whether you gave it to her and it was looking funny. She knew that this is now my money. Do you see that kind of thinking?
Yeah.
That's a person who has decided, I'm going to focus
on making more.
I'm going to spend more time thinking about how to make money, because that is then what grows. If you focus on expenses, they'll grow.
You know, and there are very many questions here about, I guess, managing the home, because everyone is saying here, we have Prosi who says, given the current economic state of our country, the needs we have and income instability, how can I achieve an emergency fund and save and plan and meet my basic needs as well? So I
love
think
that question.
Yes.
I love that question.
Truth of the matter is, I mean, we have so many things to take care of. And if you're to list down, in fact, there are people who even fear, you know, the avoiders. You even fear to total your expenses, because you'll be amazed at how much money you spend every month, which you don't even have. You probably live on a budget of like 6 million, and yet you're earning maybe 2 or 3 million.
That's true.
So you even wonder where this money is coming from. I have asked people to do an activity where they list down all their expenses, and one of them said, I stopped because I was getting stressed at how much money I see on paper, and I don't even know how much I know I earn. So the reality is that we have so much to deal with. But like Manuela said, how can we manage our expenses? But also, how can we find avenues to make more money? Because, I mean, you have emergencies, you have school fees, you have medical, you'd almost pray that your child does not fall sick, because the bill you're going to get is almost unimaginable. So we have to think of, okay, how can we minimize expenses, but also how can I earn more money?
And there are many ways we have
shared. And there are many ways you can do that. But also on your career. I mean, you can do more and add more value and project more value for your employer to qualify for a raise or for a promotion.
That's true.
Or even a bonus.
I think what you said is value.
Yes.
And I think I'm appreciating the word value more. How much value do I bring? Do I add? Because that's what you get paid for.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get paid for that.
So don't talk about your needs per se. Show the value. Don't talk about I need a salary raise. I got
married.
Yes.
So I need a salary raise.
Your boss will not add you more money because you need it. Your boss will add you more money because they see how much you're bringing into the organization.
Yes.
And then you having done all that value addition, walk into your employer's office and say, look, I have done so much over the last 1 year.
Yeah.
Because you get what you negotiate for.
Yeah. Manuela, Hedwig here is saying, how do you deal with a partner who does have a consistent income but is also a good spender?
So again, that's a conversation we had earlier. When you know your kind of partner, you have to find the middle ground. Because it is now clear that also his wife is there saying, that one, he earns money, but he's so stingy. Yet maybe he's a saver. Maybe he's an avoider. Maybe he's a risk taker. So there is nothing wrong with your partner because they spend more. That is their personality, their money personality. The problem is when there is silence and you don't talk. That's where the problem is. Or when you blame the other person. The best thing that now you can do is sit down and say, okay, honey, you like to spend. Get me money. Spend it, throw yourself all that way. But let us put away money that we've saved. But you'll find that now in such a couple where there is a saver and a spender, the saver wants to save all the money. And yet you have a spender of a wife. She's going to get debts. So you give her her money on a monthly, like agree that you will always have. There was a season in my life when I actually thought I was a spender. It took me a while to realize that I am not. But I remember that time when we used to do the me money, Brian would also give me his. My husband would give me his. Because he knew I would go and reduce the tomatoes so that I can get a top. You understand?
And then the
sauce, you just add a bit cold water, some small roiko and some kaposho, and it thickens. But I will have done some, So I said, no, I'll also give you mine. Because he knew that this one, or at least we both thought at that time, that I was a spender like that. So it's important that you know your personalities and then you decide on what's the basis. And that's why for me I like percentages. Because if for a saver, as long as the 20% is away, then it means that the rest is available for you guys to spend. And 20% is a magic number. I know it from the Bible, out of Joseph. Think about it. There were 7 years of famine. He only picked 20% of what was in the fields of the people. When the famine came, how is it that that same country used the 20% that was left? There is magic in that number. So that's why I said 20%. That money will grow. And I want to answer a question that came earlier. For me, that 20%, and this is from me just consuming a lot of financial literacy. Please consume. Please become financially literate and then make decisions on your own. I'm sharing my experience, but you go and also try, right? So from my experience, what I found was I was so confused. So where is the emergency money when I only earn 1 million? Where is the money if I want to buy a car? When will I ever buy it? So I started to ask myself some of those questions. But from doing all this financial literacy, what we decided in our home is that then that 20% that we've saved, we only pick at it once a year. And that's at the end of the year. And at the end of the year, we divide it into 4. That 20% that you've been saving per month, we divide it into 4. The first one is a sinking fund. The sinking fund is money which it's like you are going to spend it, but you've just taken time to spend it. So you want to buy, let's say, a car. You want to build your home. You're going to spend the money, but you need to save before you can spend it later. So that's what we call the sinking fund. And we will put it somewhere else to continue, we'll put it somewhere else to continue making money, right? Then the other thing that we'll divide it on is retirement. So that's where we are now actually able to also do smart life. So even if we have jobs, that are doing mandatory saving for us, we are still able to call NSSF and say, I have some money. Because from that 20% you've been saving, there is also some money that you have put away for your retirement. The third one is investment. Now that is where you can invest. And investments are different. You need to look at those that are depending. You have to think through how long the investment is, how much you need to put in it, what is your return on investment. I hope one day I can be called to have a conversation about that, especially for moms who are at home. How exactly can you save? I believe that risk is relative. For some people, starting a business is very quick, so you can't tell me business is high risk. I'm like me, I can start 6 businesses tomorrow. So for you, it's not that much of a risk, but for somebody else it is, who has never started. So anyway, you have to look at your investment matrix. So the first one was you did your sinking fund, then retirement, investment, now emergency. So that 20% later breaks up again into 4. You put them in the different vehicles where you can keep it. Then the next year you start saving again. So that now you're not always saying, Mpozi, on the 1 million, how much is emergency? Just put away 20%. You'll think about it at the end of the year. And the thing that I like about that is that even when you get an extra cash, like someone says, hey, you look so good, I've given you 100,000, send it straight to that 20%, that where that one place that you're always keeping the money. End of the year, distribute it. It's such an amazing feeling to see what your savings can do for you.
So you can save your way to have an emergency fund.
Yes.
Okay. At the beginning, the 11% of the listeners live alone. So we assume they're single or unmarried. Now for Jessie, I would like you to speak to someone who doesn't earn a monthly salary but only gets contracts once in a while, and they probably live alone as well.
Okay.
So because you did say you get gigs here and there, you don't you're self-employed.
Yes. So first of all, if you are alone, it's a good time to maximize. And when I say maximize, there are two there are two angles to this. You can choose to say, let me enjoy life and have it to the full. Well, when you finally get married and you realize all these things, you realize you could have done better when you were alone. When I say maximize, I mean you don't have so much expenses. So manage that money well. Now that you are alone, probably save as not even just the 20%.
Yeah.
Save more, because then you don't have children to spend that money on. You don't have so many things that a family man has. So do your best to manage your money well while you're still alone.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time before you get married, and that has its own implications.
Yeah.
In case you don't get a regular income. You have to, there will be times when money comes in.
Yeah.
So in a way, there is a dry season and there is a rainy season. The rainy season is when the work comes in, it comes in so much, and you get that money. So please, while Manuela was talking about 20%, when it comes in, save much more. Again, it goes back to the 7 years of abundance, the 7 years of famine. So in those seasons when it is rainy, when you're getting so much, do your best. Put yourself out there. Get the work done. Don't complain that now you're too busy and yet before you were not. Do the work, get that money coming in. But by all means, save it, invest it.
Yeah.
Don't change your lifestyle because now you have more money. No.
Yeah.
Because you know that money does not come every day.
Yeah.
So while it comes in, save it, put it away. I have different, ways I put money aside. But don't get excited when money comes in a lump sum.
Yeah.
Because it's not every day that comes in a lump sum.
Yeah.
So while it comes, put it away, save it, invest it. Smart Life Flex is here. Do investments of that kind.
Yeah.
And then work on, do your best to see that even in the dry seasons, you have some money that still comes in. It lessens the pressure.
Yeah.
It lessens the pressure. So when the abundance comes in, it's more like a bonus. It's more of an extra. So manage the seasons, the dry, the rainy, so that you don't get stranded along the way.
You need to have that expense amount.
Yeah.
The basic one. The basic, when we mean basic, it has no additional fluff. Yeah. And you know that maybe my basic, when I talk about the rent and everything, my basic comes to 500K there. I am a single person. I'm just getting Rolex from the stand there. Another day I can just get chicken. Like the things are basic. And let's say it's 500K. Then you get a gig of 3 million or 30 million. Distribute first the 500K on all the months. So that this 3 million now is going to help me for 6 more months, because the basic is 500. Don't go and change a house and says, me, I know another gig is coming. No matter how even constant that very same gig is, first sort out your life for at least 2 to 3 years. On 500,000. Whatever then is left now becomes the additional fluff that you add where you pass by CJs once in a while.
And I can see Sir Headmaster Sir is getting ready, but there are lots of questions. Thank you. Alex is asking, if someone is coming out of a period of financial instability or debt, what should come first? Aggressive debt payment, building an emergency fund, investing, or creating additional income?
Please pay your debts. Please pay your debts, because people will kill you. People will curse you. I'm telling you, you can be working so hard and some man is saying, my children have failed to go to school because she has failed to pay the money. Pay off people's debt and decide to stop borrowing. Be aggressive. Debt is very, very, let me tell you, your life can change because of a debt you have with someone. And they can hold you on that debt for years. So pay off your debt first would be my advice.
And in addition to, when it comes to paying off debt, I think it's important to have a conversation with your creditor, the one you need to pay the money to. Have a conversation and say, okay, I'm willing to pay this much. You may not pay it all off at once, but have that conversation and stick to it. Make those payments regularly. I think anyone will appreciate it if you make a commitment and you follow through. So every month, give them that money. Give them that money. Give them that money. That way you'll keep a good name, because you never know what can happen when out of that. So
there was a time I had a debt and I called the person and said, start paying you 2 years from now.
And they agreed.
But I kept calling them every 3 months. Mukwano, in the next 1 year and 9 months, I'll be the one just chopping on your account. 1 year, the 2 years reached and I paid off. And I remember that the payment period was going to last a year. When I got to halfway, she said, stop.
Oh, wow.
It's okay.
Wow.
You've been very diligent. Thank you. I said, what? So it's possible.
Before you take it back to Sir Headmaster, one little thing I wanted to talk about. In a home, there are children.
Yes.
And I think, just like we say, charity begins at home.
Yes.
Money habits begin at home. So even our 6-year-old, 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, they need to know that when daddy goes to the ATM, money is not in the machine. There is a way it got there. So we need to teach them how to work. We need to help them to understand that money comes out of work. So let's teach children to work at home. But also let's give them some money so that they can begin to behave well with money.
Money for what?
Exactly. Money.
Chores?
No.
We incentivize children and we give them some money, and we also help them to learn. For example, now for our 9-year-old, we involve her in our decisions. When she wants something, we tell her how much it costs, and we ask her how much do you have, because there is some money that she gets. And we also help her to understand that you cannot get all the money you have saved and you buy this one thing, this toy that you want, and yet you already have toys. So in a way, what I'm saying is help children to begin understand how money works. Otherwise, they will only know that money is used for buying things. Let them know how to save. Let them know how to wait. Let them know how to plan, so that tomorrow when they get their first salary, they don't go and buy toys.
Okay, Manuela, you must have fascinated people with mathematics and the percentages, because there are so many questions.
I'll share
here.
them.
Someone, Sarah says, what happens when the emergency hits before the year ends? What percentage would you advise one to use on emergency under the 20% saved money?
Okay.
And then I'm alone with the responsibility from my siblings. How do I maximize my savings and investments alongside those responsibility on again?
That one is giving
salary.
It was the 10% that we talked about earlier. You might not be able to pay all of their school fees, and that's okay, because a time will come and you'll be able to give them to go for their PhDs. Take your time with that. About the last question about emergency, that 20%, when it comes down to the end of the year, divide it in 4. If you're just a basic person, that's 25% of the 20% that has been left. 25 goes to each of them. Put the emergency fund in a place like a unit trust, which you can access. So imagine you've been saving for an emergency for the past 3 years. You've not gotten an emergency. It is in a unit trust. It means when you get an emergency in April, you have 3 years worth of emergency. You understand? And you have somewhere you can go and pick it up. From a unit trust, you can get your money within hours. You can get your money within hours. But then when it comes to something like a sinking fund for your home, you might need to put it like in a bank account which then have ATMs deep down there. You understand? You can't get your NSSF money, your retirement money easily. So because you should be a certain age, even if you understand. So you have to also, where you're putting that money after you've gotten to the 20% at the end of the year, you need to know which financial tools will help you to
Okay, let me give him a side eye. Charles is asking, how best can one manage border business which one has acquired on loan alongside family expenditure?
Again, for me, it goes back to the percentages. Because it's 10% that you have available. So if you've gotten a border at 3 million and you're making 10,000 shillings per, I don't know, there was a time they were telling us 10,000 shillings, that's 300,000. That means you can only pay off 30,000. So you already know how many years those are. So now you might have to say, you know what, under saving, let me do 10%, so that under debt payment, I am paying off 20%. This rent, instead of me paying rent, let me go and stay at my brother's place and I have that percentage, so that I have more money to pay off the debt, and now I can completely own my border and I can get all the money to myself.
But also, let's learn to go to people who have actually done this. So I would advise that person to find someone who is doing a border business and sit down with them and ask them to just run them through their financials, so that you have some practical advice. Let's not depend on what people are saying. There's money in goats. You have even never seen how a sick goat looks like. You don't even know when a goat has flu. So let us learn to go to the people who are doing the thing. Sit with a guy, let him tell you exactly the expenses that come along with having a border. Let him show you the numbers and make your decision based on that. Okay,
there are very many questions about people who say they earn less than 1 million shillings. I would just say, using the percentages,
that's why I love
Manuela
percentages.
was just divide by half or multiplied by 3/4 if you earn 750. But that's what people are saying online. And also, finally, how do it was actually one of my questions before, and someone is asking, how do they develop a discipline of saving? And my question was, how do you motivate someone to keep a budget? Really,
about the discipline of saving, have you ever noticed that if you eat food that is on the plate,
Yes.
If the plate is big, you'll eat the food on the big plate. If the plate is slightly small, you'll also eat the food on that small plate. When it comes to saving, don't start big because it will overwhelm you.
Yeah.
10-20% is a good percentage to start. It will go off
Even
and you'll not even
2%.
feel it. You'll not even feel that money has left you because you'll use it anyway. So it's more about the habit than the amount.
That's true.
Take off some amount that you can live without.
Yeah.
Because if you take off a lot, you'll come running for all
You'll
of
get
it.
shocked.
So take off a little, you won't feel it, live within the remaining 80%. When you do this over time, you will learn to manage. The beauty about it is that it grows.
Yes.
And as it grows, it
You get
compounds.
addicted. Saving is addictive. You don't even have to start at 10%. Start at 1%. When the next month you see you have 3K and you're still okay. You're like, let me add 2%. Just work your way
Up.
to 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't start with 20.
Work your
to
way
20.
up. Yeah, lots of
Allow me
questions.
to just interject in at that point. And just as she has said, the NSSF Smart Life you can do as low as 500 shillings.
Yeah.
So if you are not saving a chapati, you are
Yes.
not. And they're asking what should motivate me. I think you get this and understand that if you don't save money, money will never save you.
Yeah.
You never saved it, and you're looking for it to save you. I imagine so running all over. I mean, this
Actually,
conversation.
saving is the only money you pay yourself.
It is
That is your money.
It is your money.
Because for all the rest of the money, you're a conduit. You get money from your salary,
A broker.
you give to the landlord. You get money from your salary, you give to the boutique owner. You get money from your salary, the market vendor. So which money is yours? Choka, you're the one working. So if you're not saving, what it is that you've gone so hard to work for the baba.
Other people.
You've worked so hard. You've woken up in the morning for the landlord. You have stressed with your boss for the grocery shop owner. You have suffered at night with your presentation for the shoe vendor. So you get annoyed. So, no.
Thank you so much, Manuel. I think that is the point. To get annoyed.
Yes.
Get annoyed.
You are not a broker of your money.
Yeah.
You have not started working if you have not started paying yourself.
Yeah.
So please pay yourself. The only reason everyone sees you with the NSSF logo and says our money, because that money has been saved from your problems.
That's true.
It has been saved from that boutique owner. It has been saved from the school fees. It is your money indeed. Sure. And while you have that money at NSSF, create another pool where you have more of your money. I have picked 30 lessons from this thing. I am going to just pick. let me just go randomly, but I wanted to go through everything in this class. I am the headmaster. Please go around saying
Headmaster.
Headmaster. Who am I?
Sir, headmaster,
Thank
sir.
you. No corazon says, but I need to tell you that I was in class. I have a stool here. I sat and I picked 30 lessons. You took me back to school, and I hope it feels like this for everyone, because when we compose ourselves as students, don't forget your title, forget you're the MD, forget who you are. Yes, all those big things, but today when you come in and you say I am a student, you will pick something. And what you pick, you do not have to do everything. Do one thing, it will lead to the other thing. Home depreciation. I mean, that concept has things depreciating at home and you are not accounting for them. That you are there, so, this time we are accounting, we are below the amount. Do it for your homes. The bank charges, I host a number of banks, and I'm going to be telling the guys bank charges, bank charges. But there's a bank I'm addicted to. Because it was my first account, I am emotional about it, so I just keep putting there some money to just maintain it. And every time I find it at zero.
Yeah.
So actually this thing is just consuming my money. So, this is real. Home planning, I mean the meals. www.emanuela.pimulondo. Please go there. Go there. I want please someone put it in the chats. Yes. These are our savers. We need to let's blow this. Struggling spouses. I mean, your spouses struggle because of your struggles.
Yes.
They are struggling. I thank you so much for sharing that. That just in case visitor. Like, I am just passing. That person, let me tell you, if that visitor cannot eat the food you have cooked, they shouldn't visit you. They are not. They are people you need to meet at office. If they cannot can't accept your condition, then you are pretending.
Yeah.
You are pretending. But please Tell Brian, because these days I have seen here, every time he tries to invite me, invites me from a corner. Please tell him I eat posho. I repent. I will come with a bottle of water. We'll eat that. I have also seen the people who visit us, they come with things.
Yeah.
And
well,
also,
that's true.
Yeah. So you can go with sumbusas and eat the, because we are here to converse. Please, we are going to take a bit of, I need to share some of these lessons. Don't fear spouses, just know their money types.
Yeah.
You know when they say take off for time and fear women, take off for time and fear men. No, don't fear them. Know their money types. You are probably fighting with a money type. This person has no problem.
Yeah.
Know them, then you will know how to approach them.
Yeah.
The money. Treat the money you want the way it wants to be treated, so that it can stay with you.
Yeah.
Money flees from you. It sees you and it goes the other way, because it has no business with you. You harass it. You do not give it a rest. It has just landed on the account and you shoo. Then you even know the limits. Like you are there. You look at your account and it's like a dollar account, because now it has, you only rested, it has 500, 600, 600, not dollars, but shillings. You have like a 5K that you can take. You say, I will wait after midnight. You go and also pick it at the ATM. Please treat that money. When you save, it must count. They have given you a lift. I have saved today. It is only savings if you actually, that money counts.
Yeah.
There are people who have been saving. That is why the savers, every time you talk about saving, there are people who look at you badly, because they have seen people who have been saving but they can't count for their savings.
Yeah.
You eventually, that is postponed expenditure. If you do not have a purpose for your savings, please eat your money, because you're just postponing the obvious.
Yeah.
So start with a purpose. Kindly start with a. Haters can be all and overcarers are in the same category.
Yes.
Those people who are hating on you are equal to those people who seem to be caring on, but yet they are just waiting to gossip about you.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. I am keeping the. I've really.
I love it.
I hope I can.
I love it. I love how he's.
I am now at 9. I'm saying what to remember. That food you have prepared to impress, destination is the toilet. Let me leave it at that. Let me leave it at that. Butterflies. But the butterflies die.
Yeah.
Kindness does not. So sometimes people try to ask, what is the process? When we come to have these conversations, people expect us to talk about money. But ladies and gentlemen, I need to tell you that our approach is we talk about the behavior. Money has no problem. There is money in the world. It is just that money in the world, you don't have part of it.
Yes.
And why you don't have part of it is your behavior.
Yes.
Is you. You married the wrong person, you married for the wrong reason, and money is fleeing from their entire family because of you.
That's true.
Then you marry someone, you are kind to them, you are attracting money.
Yes.
You are there, your husband is just there, just doing it. He's at work and saying, let me send this money to my wife.
That's
you are
true.
attracting money.
It's true.
You are doing nothing, you are just minding your own business, and someone says, please take this money.
It's true. Yes. It's very true.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we have these conversations. So please forgive us if we are not talking about the unit trust, we are not talking about, but eventually if we invoke you so much, you will ask yourself, why isn't my phone, my social media bringing me an advert for a unit trust? It is because you have spent, your habits are around checking on everyone what they are doing and not checking on where you can make money. You are looking for money, not making money. We really need to, ladies and gentlemen, please, Manuela, thank you. Just a thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having
our dropout, school dropout. I hope now you appreciate staying in school.
Very much.
But I need to finish these lessons. Help at source.
Yes.
Help at they can tell you there has not been, no one has helped people and has the kind stories. But when you help at source, you even relieve yourself. You no longer have to look at them as that thing, that constant reminder, and let it it's generosity. Don't expect income out of it. Don't. It's not an investment. Be bold. Take that house. Be in the house you need to be in. Not in the one they expect you to be in. Let me just ask a random question, and please today help me put those crew people, those other students, please help me. Those ones there. Hey, I'm going to ask, does any of you here know which car Manuela came driving? You are not, they're shaking their heads. Oh, anyone in the audience, do you know what car Jesse came driving? So why are you under pressure to impress people, yet they actually don't know what you are doing?
It's true.
Does anyone know which car Headmaster drives? But guess what? You are all now tuned in and you are listening to him. You do not know. I actually go past people and they don't know I am the one. So why am I striving to buy the car and say, no, Headmaster drives this car. The people should know. Maybe if I don't drive this car, I will have dropped in a level. Please find your, it is about you. It is not about them.
Level. Yeah, I love it.
There are a number of UPE products that are managing this, including, I hope my MD is not happy. My MD went to Nyem primary school, but he's my MD. Can you imagine? Me, I went to Uganda Road. Me, I am a planned child. But I answer to him. Can you imagine?
It's true.
So please take your child to that school to get
that
education.
You can afford.
Not to get status. And if you trust your children, you do not have to take them to the most expensive school because this school is good. You know, it's your child that is good.
Yeah.
So actually taking your children to those schools that pass, it is an indication that you don't trust them.
Yeah. Ooh,
that you need to take them to a school that passes, because they themselves, you have already ordained them as they will not pass.
Daft. Yeah, it's true.
So please, I can proudly say my children walk to school.
Yeah.
Wow. My children walk to school. So hey, and they won't die. They have not died.
No, they can't.
They haven't died. My wife is now, I'm sure she's eyeballing and says, you. Budget for both income and expenses. I have left out quite a number of things, but ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I could not, this conversation needs to continue. This conversation, I definitely, I need to make a public cry. These people will have to, I'm asking them to come back. You know, I have to ask them because we don't pay them. Here, I'm the only one that is paid. Me, I'm here, but I am asking, and it is not me asking, it is the public asking. So I am, that letter is going to come again with our normal request. Please, we ask you to donate your time. You have donated, and NSSF recognizes this. The members recognizes this. What we are doing, ladies and gentlemen, here, you members, it's not a free service. While they have given us a free service, but it's not a free service. You pay for it. We use your money to do this. So if you are there and you are taking this lightly, just know you are paying for this service and you need to make it count.
Yeah, you do.
But before we go, Mebo,
yes,
Jesse,
yes,
Manuela,
yes,
homework.
Headmaster, sir.
Thank you. Who should I chase out of class? Thank you. But in this class, you have been our teachers for today. She's the class monitor. You are the teachers. In our school, there is no one in between head teacher up to the class teacher. We need to give homework. What are those things? Oh, allow me to even speak about debt. Ladies and gentlemen, there has never been a bad debt, but there are bad borrowers.
Yeah.
When you borrow for consumption, you're a bad borrower. And appreciate that I borrowed for consumption, I need to pay it off. You need to borrow for production. If you have borrowed, and we even make it is fancy, I host the banks, NSSF owned banks, I don't want to speak about them, but we make it fancy. We don't call them loans, we call them facilities. School fees facility, home improvement facility. That is consumption.
Yeah.
That's not production. Then the ones they give in Chukobo, we are giving them a loan. That one business is business loan. But these other things, consumption, they call them facility. So you feel like you have earned your right to, I am a big person, I'm even getting a facility. The other silent killer. And one I have also decided to fight as a person. Momo advance, Momo loans. They are just next to you. Like, why not? They're asking you, why not? Before you know, you're at 5 million.
Yeah.
Like, this person gets your money before anyone gets it.
That's true.
Take care of that. But what are those parting shots? I have this team here charges us per hour. So every single minute we go over. They're already counting.
They are counting
but
down.
Let's make that money count. What are those parting things? At least something, and you're going to look directly, and I don't know which camera, but you are telling these people and tell them that Then wind it up with a homework, something you can send them to read, to listen to, or to do. And then we will close out from. So I will start with they say ladies first, wait. Okay. So gentlemen,
my parting shot is a statement I heard from T. Harv Eker. He's the author of a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He said, rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money well. My challenge to us today, we've talked about planning with confidence, managing home expenses. Where are you mismanaging your money well? What are those expenses that are just like a leaking bucket? A drop goes, you may not feel it, but it's slowly draining your tank. Find those expenses and see how to cover those gaps. My homework is go back and ask yourself, how can I find a way to bring in some extra money? Yeah. What skill can I use? What need can I offer? What product? How can I become a producer rather than becoming a consumer? Go and do that homework. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Well said, well said. And again, I've just picked up one of the lessons I didn't say. Value.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I'm saying this, but some of you most of us are overpaid. We are actually paid because the HR policy says pay them that much, but they're not paying for your value. If they are to pay you for your value, you would be getting negatives.
That's true.
So what value are you actually bringing to the table? Get paid for value. If you are looking for money, you're a thief. Money is made.
It's supposed to look for you.
Money is supposed to look for you because you are of value. Yeah. You make money and it looks for you. When you look for money, it means that if you find it in the bank, all you need to do is let them give you a katayimbo, you will hit the person with it and take
That's
it.
True.
Manuela.
That's true.
Oh, before you'll go last. The school dropout. Please. School dropout, we brought her back to school, and I'm telling you, you would be glad. By the time we finish this session,
I know.
We should write a book about it.
Yes.
Please.
Mainly from the questions that are coming in, I seeing that many people necessarily be earning much. But this is what someone told me this week, a gentleman called Edwin. He said, I was talking to him about an unfair situation that had happened to both of us. It had happened some time ago. So, and then he stopped me and he said, but Mabel, what I've heard you say, it was unfair, it was unfair. He said, but who says life is fair? Life is not fair, but you get what you negotiate for. So unfair situations may come in. If someone's earning 500,000 or less even, that does seem a bit, it's like, how do you live? But we have learned principles, and I think with this calculation and percentages, you can actually make yourself, you can actually come out of that. And the saying I will end with is from the late Miles Monroe. He said, success is not an accident, and failure is also not an accident. There are principles and there are things we can do in life. You can see someone and what they do in their life, and you can say, oh, that one's going to be a success, or this one is going to fail. Thank you.
In short, she's saying no one is bewitching you. Your failure is entirely on you. Stop. That stepmother, Muleke Bambi, she's not the one.
Yes.
She's not the one. And money takes time to make.
Yeah.
So give it time.
Yeah.
Give it time to spend it.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm a huge believer in the Bible. I have read so many books on finances, but I found that they all are getting wisdom from the Bible and giving them nice language. I want to advise you, stop praying on the prayer mountain. Leave your pastor alone. Leave the intercessors alone. Leave God alone. That prayer you are praying, Lord, financial breakthrough. Stop. 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 You're going to take time, at least 1 hour, once a week. I'm not asked for a lot. 1 hour, once a week, and start to hear for knowledge. You've prayed enough. He has heard, he has answered. You are not hearing. There are things he will tell you in his word that you will read from one book to another. They are the very same. The thing that you said earlier is you reap what you sow. Isn't that what it is? Isn't that the principle? It's the same one. Isn't that the same principle? It is the same. So I would advise you, take 1 hour once a week, sit down and start to hear where your money is. I'm telling you, your money is somewhere. For me, I found most of my secrets come from the Bible. The trick I told you about, I don't spend on many of my expenses. I exchange value. I got it from the Bible. The Bible says, come, eat, drink without a price, without money. I said, how? How can I do that? You mean I can eat without money? And I knew that was called exchange of value. So I wanted to speak especially to those of us who spend time praying and in tongues. It's time to translate it to practicality. Your wealth exists. It, just like soil, already has beans. You just need to put the seed. It has mangoes. You just need to put the seed. You need a seed. Yeah.
And with those words from a child of God, I don't think we can take it any further. One thing I need to remind you is that the God we serve, all denominations, is a big God.
Yeah.
That God owns everything. Now, you would be an imposter if he's your father, if he's your Lord.
Do you know?
And then you yourself,
you don't have.
You do not have.
How?
Whose child are you? NSSF Financial Literacy Program will return next month with a special edition on lump sums. Remember, our AMM, our annual members meeting is happening in September. So we'll come and talk about it and actually understand confidence with NSSF. Continue this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, what we do is talk. You only get paid when you act. Action changes things. Have a good day.